Say no more.
All right, what's going on, YouTube? Conversations with Kev. We can wait a few minutes, let people come in. Please give people time to join. Let me edit this, tell them to. Give people time to come on in to Conversations with Kev. I can sing for the time being if y'all want me to. I don't really think y'all want me to do that, but
Take off my hoodie.
I will. Yeah, it's getting a
Let
little
my
warm.
coat.
It's getting a little warm in here. Trying to get my viewers up, but it's all right.
They gonna get up.
Maybe.
Dang, my bad. This is a good topic though, man. I mean, this is some
COVID-19, that tenderoni
affecting life for real.
Spinning a little bit up there. All right, man. It's been a minute. So we can really just jump in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like if they come, they come. They don't, they don't.
Yep.
All right. So again, thank you all for tuning in to Conversations with Kev. Back again with another topic. Again, I'll be back again next week with another topic, and I have more guests. So the conversation today is going to be about COVID-19, tenderoni, corona lachey, the virus, whatever you want to call it. But I got a special guest, Jay. I'm going to let Jay introduce himself, tell us a little bit about him, what he does, and we'll go from there.
What's happening? So Jay Edwards, soon will be Jex with my personal brand, but currently own and operate Lux Transportation. Also am CEO of Black Famous as well. And I'm a creative. I like to build business, love ideas.
Word, man. Creative.
Yeah.
Like it makes you sound like mysterious and like a creative.
I'm a
creative. Yeah. Okay. So, we were talking. We were thinking about some stuff. So, again, Jalen, let's start off with you as an entrepreneur and a creative. Yeah. How has the tenderoni affected you and your business ventures?
Yeah. So basically, how I view it is, especially, I mean, having multiple businesses, they affect me in different ways. As far as Lux Transportation goes, being a high-end chauffeuring service for executives and professionals, everything is basically shut down right now. So it's basically put my business on a halt. Like if my wheels aren't spinning, we're not making money. So, there's things out there, obviously, like grants, loans that, we've been able to apply for. But for other business endeavors that I have, for example, like Black Famous, we're thriving. We're doing well. People still purchasing and buying online. And to be honest with you, now is the perfect time to have an online business.
Yeah.
When people are at home. But anyways, so that's how it's affecting me in a little bit.
Why do you think that now is the best time to have an online business?
Because everybody is at home online.
As I like that.
Looking at their phone like this. I don't know what I should buy.
Yeah.
I don't know what, you know what I'm saying?
And that's true, because, I mean, if people don't want to do nothing else, they want to spend money, especially when they're at home with nothing else to do. What better time is it to spend some money?
And it's comfort.
Yeah.
It's comfort buying.
Definitely. And people just got like $1,200. Did you get a $1,200 check?
Negative.
So if anybody want to share that $1,200, give me $100. I'd be cool, but I wish I got one. But so as far as moving forward with the virus and the things, what it is and what it's not, do you plan to change anything with Lux moving forward? Because even after the safer at home ordinance is lifted, they are still projecting that you should still protect yourself, because I know like there's even schools right now that's saying they're not gonna do face-to-face classes again until 2021.
Yeah,
fall of 2021. So that's next year, September. So I mean, have you had thoughts on that? Like, what you thinking as far as that goes?
Honestly, I've just thought about who who I'm going to be servicing. I mean, I don't necessarily know right at this moment what we're planning to do moving forward. We've had thoughts of, continue doing the whole thing. We have people who have already, like, for example, people who have weddings coming up or execs that are traveling, have scheduled and with us. And it's like, do we want to take that risk for, my drivers to get sick or not, And so I don't know, man. We really honestly don't know, but it's something that we need to figure out soon.
Yeah,
realistically.
With it pushed out to May 26th, and then there's a possibility that they may push it out again.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't know. If I was in your shoes, I'm not even sure what I would do. Like,
I was actually gonna ask you that. What would you do?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, man. I would kind of be a little scared, but then I don't always
follow rules.
Do what I'm told. So I mean, what would I do if I own Lux Transportation with this order?
That's a really good question.
What would I do? I'm gonna have to think on that one.
Yeah, think on that. I think though, aside from all of that, like I had mentioned before, is that
I know what I would do.
What would you do?
So I would undercut. Yes, if y'all listening, I would undercut like Grubhub, all those food delivery services that are delivering for like Burger King and Qdoba that are overpriced. I would literally undercut them, and I would go to local restaurants and say, hey, well, I'm in this city. I live here. This has been my city, and I have all the equipment to do it. So I'll do it at a lesser charge than what they charge you, because I know there's some kind of charge to even be on their software.
Yeah, that's I'll have to look into that. That's a really interesting point. I actually had thoughts of doing that, and actually even doing transportation in a different way, like maybe doing products or something like that, instead of doing people. But that's still with transportation. There's so many avenues you could go down.
Definitely,
you know what I mean? It's needed too. It's just we're not sure where we want to go.
Yeah. Okay. So. All right, moving on. So I am going to put out this disclaimer because we are going to talk about the facts of the tenderoni. I am not a medical professional.
I'm not a doctor either. No, sir.
I wish. No, I don't. I don't even know. But so the facts of the coronavirus are, I wrote them down because I didn't want to say anything wrong and I didn't want to misquote.
Corona.
So there's actually 7 different coronaviruses. 4 of them are equivalent to the common cold and are really not that serious. They cause a little bit of irritation, but they're not that serious. So SARS is severe acute respiratory syndrome, which is a form of the coronavirus, and also the Middle East respiratory syndrome, which is also the form of coronavirus. Now, I don't know if we're going to get in trouble on YouTube, but I mentioned earlier that I feel like it was man-made.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like it was coronavirus existed and then it was engineered. I don't know whether if it was population control. I don't know, but I moved towards population control because if you look, population just keeps growing. And it's at the point they're looking now like, okay, in the next few years, we won't have enough food to feed all these people. So, I mean, what do? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, sad to say, but that's what it is. And then we know that the media is the ultimate form of influence.
So you think it's population control?
Yeah. I really think it's population control. Because if you look at less than 5% of people die from it, it's like 3.8%. The mortality rate is like 3.8%. But that 3.8 percentile is all people that will be lying into the baby boomer generation. So it's not really many people of younger age. It's either baby boomer or underlying an underlying problem that you may have. So like
health issue.
Yeah, I have asthma. So for me, I'm more at risk to being a fatality if I catch it versus somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's just
Right.
as healthy as ox, as they say.
Like me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I like to think.
I don't know. I think that that's what I think it is. I mean, y'all can comment and say what y'all think it is, but I think it's population control.
Man.
You look like you're thinking about it. So what you think?
I'm thinking about this. Like, it's so much that like goes on. It's almost like hidden in plain sight. Like, we already know. I feel like our intuition knows that something is not right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying with this?
Yeah.
Which is why if you ever get, I gotta watch what I say. If you ever get like people to protest to go back, and they older people to protest, then you know something ain't right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
If you get older people that know that they could be sick and dead, you know what I'm saying, as the media portrays, and they're outside protesting, then something ain't right.
That's
something
true.
ain't right.
And then, cause like you look at, like I was getting ready to say, the media is the ultimate power of influence. So it influences us as citizens into what to think, whether to be scared, whether to worry or not. But you almost have to have your own, you know, perspective and opinion of what's going on. But that's so real that, like, you know, that's where all the stereotypes and stuff like that come from, the power of influence and programming. So the media is programming you to be scared, to stay inside and do this, that, and the third. But I mean,
Control.
Yeah, control. But my honest opinion is, I don't
like to be controlled.
Nah, but that too, and you know, it's not that I don't take it serious. I think it's being portrayed that it's a little more serious than what it is, and I say that because, like, again, I'm a factual person. So this virus survives up to 80 degrees. So I can literally turn this room here to 80 degrees temperature, and the virus won't survive. Sunlight kills it. Hot water kills it. I was reading up and listening to a doctor, and he said this is the weakest virus that we've ever seen. So you got that side of it, and then you got, like, it's not new, it's been here before, and the mortality rate is 3.8%. That's according to the World Health Organization. And they are comparing it to the flu, which usually kills less than 1% of the people infected. So I think that's what pushed it to the pandemic, because that 3.8 versus less than 1%.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, when you play with fire, you get burned. You in there genetically engineering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what did you expect? But I do want to move the conversation, because Jay was saying earlier, like, with you being at home, and like I was saying, like, there's not a better time to be an entrepreneur, and like to navigate the waters of today, you almost have to be. Like, this is a great time to sit down and think about, how am I going to build wealth? Jay was touching on, you know, about, you know, starting now, and you know, not having to work real hard later on, basically, right? Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I was saying that based off of how so many people are followers and group thinkers, and with social media and all this, people have this fear. And then aside from all of that, you know, I've seen a lot of posts out there where, you know, people are saying, you know, this is not a production competition to see who can, you know, do the most. And I understand rest is very important. You know, I understand that. But at the same time, when you look in history and you look at times like these, you know, most millionaires are made in times like these. Most people that you wouldn't even know, that weren't even on the grid, come on the grid because they put the work in a time like this, when the whole world is basically shut down, quiet, or there's a problem going on in the country, and they come up out the blue. You know what I'm saying? It's because they put in that work. They're not resting. You can rest when you're dead. You know,
right.
you have all the rest you want, but now it's time to grind. It's time to get prepared, you know, for the next wave. This is that next wave, literally.
My man E.T. Eric Thomas, if you don't know, great motivational speaker, but he said that what did he say? he said we all got the same, basically the same. We all have the same opportunity, but some work harder in preseason. That's what he said. So basically, this is the preseason of what's to come. So the work that you put in now, when later gets there,
yes, sir.
you worked harder now, so you ain't got to work that hard later. And I was mentioning about like how the housing market is going down, and for millennials, that's great because I don't know if you all know the statistics, but the statistics say that there's a good majority of us that will never buy a house because the cost of inflation, the economy, the cost of living, low paying jobs, that will make it hard for us to purchase homes. But with the housing market going down, this is a great opportunity to start looking into that. And I hope it keep going down. But I mentioned earlier that you qualify if you have a credit score of a 580 is the lowest they'll take. You can qualify for an FHA loan with 3.5% down. It covers, I believe, 96.5% of the loan that you want to take out for the mortgage. But, you know, at a $70,000 house is pretty decent. And if you only putting 3.5% down, that's less than $3,000. So
you're good.
I mean, you may have to go into that $3,000 range with closing costs and all the other little things that are tied into it. But
yeah,
I mean, you are changing the wealth of you because I mean, there's so much capital you create just by owning stuff like that.
For sure.
Collateral for business loans, the loan,
everything. Yeah, there's
it's endless. It's endless. But
owning land is great.
What did I wanted to say something else.
That's a good point. I'm glad that you brought up that though, as you're looking, that you brought up the housing market, man. That's
oh yeah,
huge, man.
You can do so much. There's so much. Well, before this came, the housing market was booming so hard, man. I don't know if you watch HGTV.
Yeah,
man. There's hundreds of people, and all they doing there is buy houses, remodel them, and flip them.
I mean, most millionaires were made in
the housing market.
Yeah, real estate, and selling easily.
Houses. Buying and selling houses, man. I want to learn how to rehab them.
Yeah.
Because if I buy, rehab, and sell, it's all income.
Paper.
So the next question I had was,
I like your questions.
Once this all is over, what's the plan? Did I ask you this already?
I don't know.
What's the plan for Lux once it's all over?
Yeah. I think that you did ask.
I did.
Me. Yeah.
Okay. Dang, I forgot my last question, but I did have something else to say. Oh, I was talking about the facts of I'm sorry, I got some important stuff going on here. Yeah, I don't know if you all know I work. I was gonna talk about essential employees. So I just so happen to be an essential employee. I work at a funeral home, and so it's getting kind of like I almost got to go in a little bit, but that's okay.
Somebody died, huh?
Huh?
Somebody died?
I can't really release that information.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's some stuff going on. But I am an essential employee, and what I did, we were talking about, being strategic, and I want to ask you. So, say you were in my position, right? You're a funeral professional.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not even my position. So, say you come and you want to use my places of business to take care of your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's an underlying expectation for no matter what funeral home you go to, that there's an expectation of professionalism, right or wrong?
Right.
So
should be. Yeah.
Should be. So for me, I was thinking, my mind says that we have to protect ourselves, but in my mind at the same time, I am the professional. So wearing a mask is like, nah, I don't really want to do that. Because I am the professional. Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, I mean,
I like that. I mean, first of all, as a funeral director, they come into you and people are more so coming to the funeral home for a visitation, for a funeral, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
So I feel like at that point, you have the power to set your rules within your own establishment. Yes, I mean, there's guidelines on the state and, national level, but if somebody come up in there and you don't feel like wearing a mask, I mean, you can have a sign saying, must have mask, must wash your hands.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, because like for me, if I'm coming into your house or something like that,
Right.
to
Take them shoes off.
Yeah, if that's where I'm at, then that's different. I'll mask up, and
Right.
then I'll just I'll apologize for my appearance. But with what's going on, that's just a common
Right.
must. So for me, it's like, yeah, I did that. I said anybody coming in must have on a mask, must use hand sanitizer, and it's just like, hey, some people like, well, we gotta wear but I don't know. That's just neither here nor there. And then I was gonna ask you again about the social distancing with Lux as you move forward. What's your thoughts on that? Like, what if it's extended? And because from what I understand, or does it apply in the car?
Yeah. So it applies because it's people. It is a business, and just like Uber, Lyft, or anything like that, you're driving around people. Your product is people. So like it applies to you. And moving forward, I'm not sure what we will do. If our company came to a point where, the government said you can't be within 6 feet of anyone, even if it's for business, then we would probably transition to transporting products or goods or something like that. If that's even something that we would even want to get into. But yeah, that's what we would do. That's our take on it. What I was gonna ask you something, and I think that it was a really good question, but it slipped my mind. But yeah, anyway,
that's all right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Because I got a lot going on, so we're gonna shut it down. But thank you all for tuning in.
Thanks for having me too,
man. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Again, like, share, subscribe. I don't think you can like on YouTube, so like and subscribe. But yeah, I'll be back next week with another topic and another guest. Again, thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Kev. All right, y'all.